Steve, you've got to be pleased with the weekend's result, because it wasn't just that we won, it was a good performance, and when we had to, we fought. So there's a good spirit there as well.
Definitely a good spirit, and yeah, I'm very pleased. Like, to be honest, I'm pleased with any win, but against a team who we haven't managed to get the better of on 3 occasions this season, yeah, very satisfying to finally actually get over the line and get a win against them, because they're tough nut to crack.
Yeah, even when their keeper again makes some worldly saves, we managed to do it this time.
Yeah, he perhaps didn't hit the heights that he had certainly in the 2 FA Cup games, but yeah, he still made a few really good saves, and it's been a tough week actually for us. Yeah, we've had Danny step back as part of the coaching team. He's decided it's not quite what he wanted it to be. So yeah, obviously goes without blessing, and still remain friends, and massive thanks on camera for all the efforts that he's put in. But yeah, obviously that meant we're one pair of hands and one brain short. Jamie Good, kit man extraordinaire, was on crutches this week, so he wasn't able to attend the game. So obviously get well soon to him. But it just meant obviously me, Wayne, and Paul, and obviously Owen, the physio, just meant there was a little bit more sort of pressure on us. Wendy, thankfully, was on hand to help us out, particularly after the game with all that horrible, wet, dirty kit. So that was much appreciated. But yeah, we've been a bit understaffed, and then on top of that, we've had quite a few players. Like Holmesdale had their centre forward missing, and I'm sure they'll cite that as quite a big factor, because he's a big loss for them. He's one of the better centre forwards in the league, in my opinion. But obviously we didn't have our goalkeeper there. We didn't have one of our first choice centre halves there. We didn't have our probably third choice centre half who comes in there. Didn't have our captain there. So yeah, and that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure I've missed someone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, that's sort of sets it up, because you changed formation, you changed the lineup, you had players coming in, so it wasn't just coaches. It was, you had a lot of challenges there with. And what was the change? Thinking with changing the lineup and the formation?
Yeah. Well, the benefit of playing Holmesdale 3 times is we've had 3 sort of rehearsals at how not to do it, as it's turned out, and they play a certain way, quite compact, quite hard to break down. Obviously, when we play the Diamond, we're trying to play through teams, and it's very hard to play through a sort of compact mid-block as they play. So we thought, after sort of weighing it up, we thought the best thing to do would be try and play around them. So that meant wingers. And actually, I think we were quite successful with that. I think first half alone, we had 10 good crosses coming. So you could possibly argue the only complaint would be we should probably put the ball in the net more than once.
Yeah, and I mean that's very true. And the other way of looking at it is extending that is, if you were being critical, and it's harsh, considering we won 6 out of 8 games, but again it was Shearwater played really well. Then we dropped down for whatever reason against Holmesdale. Then we're back up playing really well again. It's not like we've had a few games where we've gone up and down. And I mean, what do you think the reason is for it? Because it's scratch your head time.
I think it's just scenarios, really. Well, I think Shearwater, we went 1-0 up after 10 minutes. Then they've got to come out. Holmesdale, we went 1-0 up after 15 minutes. Whereas Blair, we went behind after actually having a lot of chances. Actually, no, we didn't have that many chances. I made that up. But probably against the run of play, we went 1-0 down, and it, when you're chasing the game, Blair were very disciplined. A lot of wily old heads in there, made it really hard. Once they had the lead, they had something to hold on to. Holmesdale, interesting one. That they kind of want to play you on the counter attack. That's in my opinion, that's their strategy. They sit a little bit deeper. They don't put too much pressure on your goalkeeper or your centre halves when they've got the ball, and they want to pounce on you. But once you go 1-0 up, that strategy is difficult, because we're just sitting here and play.
It did help as well, because when we started the game, they drew a couple of saves from Martin in goal. But after that settled down, then got de-scored, and then we sort of just took control of the game. Yeah. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, it's just the way it felt.
No, I think that's factually true. I think actually they started better, and I think Callum Keeble had a one-on-one with Martin, which Martin saved very well with his legs, and that was a bit of a warning shot for us. We were able to ride that out. We then got our act together. I think actually we then started using the wide areas really effectively. I think Reece and Reg got a lot of the ball, and I think we started to get the momentum. We started to do the majority of the attacking. That's not to say they without any threat at all, because that would be unfair. We got the goal, which is a little bit lucky. I think the keeper probably should probably have done a bit better. I think we had 3 or 4 good crosses, really good crosses. I mean, we had 10 in total, but I think we had 3 or 4 we were gagging for someone to get on the end of.
Well, did it help that you had Trev, so you suddenly had a point to attack as well?
Yeah.
Because it did feel, especially coming down the left-hand side, it felt like we were just, whenever we want to, we could go forward, get a cross in every single time, and Trev was there to be a target.
Yeah, I think actually there was. I mean, I think Reg and Macca put in 2 or 3 very, very dangerous crosses from the right, but the crosses were coming in from both sides. I agree with you there, and I think we knew that if that was the game plan, it probably was time for Trev to have a start, because that is Trev's game. It's between the goalposts, it's in the penalty box. Lucas does a lot of fantastic work for us, linking us up and helping us get up the pitch and bringing people into play. And you know, obviously it's not that he doesn't carry a goal threat, but we just thought if we're going to go around them and there's going to be balls coming in, that is Trev's bread and butter. Also, it's Lucas's last game before he goes to Doha, so it's important we got some more minutes into Trev. So yeah, that was the thinking really.
Yeah, then we go into the second half, and the first few minutes felt it was messy, a bit compared to what it had been. But after that, we were still edging it by a long way and creating, but then just settled down again. And you just, although we were controlling it, you did feel like we needed to get a second goal, just in case.
Yeah.
And then you go and nick one completely against run of play on the 75th minute to prove that point.
I think it was an odd situation, and we spoke about it at half time. It's like, you're winning now, so if you're playing against a team who want to play on your mistakes, they want us to commit bodies forward, misplace a pass, they're going to nick it and they're going to counter-attack us. Well, the best thing for us to do is just look after the ball. I think there was a lot of times when Tom, Martin, Chris, in that sort of V at the back, were even putting their foot on the ball and just going, you're going to come. And Holmesdale were happy to be patient most of the time. And it kind of gives it a bit of an odd scenario, because we're thinking, well, we don't want to go bombing forwards when we know that's what you want us to do, so you can turn us over. So I guess the game lost its tempo for a little bit. Holmesdale, that said, I still think we had a few good attacking forays that just didn't quite, and we moved the ball around quite well. I've watched the game back. There's some good patterns where we're moving the ball across the pitch quite nicely.
Yeah, I think it was noticeable that we played a lot more football, or were able to play a lot more football than we might have done in the last couple of games.
Do you? I mean, I think we played some pretty good football against Holland and Blair. Personally, I think the pitch is probably the determining factor there. To be honest, mate, that surface, like, I said it on the day, but credit to the ground staff at Holland and Blair, because especially when you think about the conditions, the pitch was firm, and obviously with the rain, the ball was moving around nicely. That's obviously not always the case at the Culverden. So I thought we played just as much football against Blair personally, but different.